Let's see. Oh, video. Live video is starting. What are we? Oh, we are live. We are live, folks. Yay. Yay, yay, yay. So let's see. What time is it? It is 7:08. That was a little awkward leaning so far in. Sorry. And it is Sunday night. And, yeah. I don't know about all of you, but it's been a rough couple of weeks. It has been something, I'll tell you that. Okay, so I'm still learning the ins and outs of streaming. And I got a ways to go. I am forever, eternally grateful that I have the amazing Emmeline Riley Hoyt behind me to help me when I get stuck. She is a godsend. But one of the things that I wanted to try to figure out how to implement into the stream, at least right now, where things stand, with my 0 viewers, my current viewers at 0 viewers, that's a little sad. I did a heads up. I did a highlight and was like, hey, you guys, I'm going to be streaming tonight because there are people that have asked.
I'm not sure how accurate that number is because I'm actually watching you live as well right now.
Oh, well.
So.
Liar, liar, pants on fire.
Yeah, see, it's.
Okay. Well, so maybe there are some other people out there watching. If so, hello. Welcome to whatever this is.
Introduction time.
Yes, it's introduction time. So, but I got squirreled there for a moment because I realized that on the live dashboard on my Facebook that I can actually set up to create a poll. Because I want to create a poll to find out how often people are wanting to see me stream. Is it better if it's consistent, like every Tuesday and Thursday, or would once a week be sufficient? Like I said, I had a rough couple of weeks, and I became incredibly discouraged in pretty much every level of my life. I am not entirely convinced that there were outside forces at work trying to stop me from doing what I believe I am meant and intended to do. So what I was meant for, what I feel I was intended to do, that's what I want to talk about tonight. I want to talk about why I started streaming, how it started out, and share just a little bit about that, and share a little bit about me. So I started streaming in 2022 when my soon-to-be ex and I were beginning dating, and they were beginning to transition. And I was encountering so many people that just lacked information. And I began to see and understand that there needs to be more support. There needs to be more education. And both myself and my soon-to-be ex, and lots of people in my life have a lot of struggles with mental health. And so my intention, my desire, my hope was that it would be an opportunity, a platform to talk about these things, to shed light on things, to educate people, to show support, to share insights. I am not a trained professional. I have no formal education. I am just sharing my own lived experience and my own personal insights of things that I have found that have worked for me. So just to be very clear, because I have had that pointed out to me that I am not a trained professional. I'm not.
So started streaming in 2022, and
fast forward to 2023 when we got married. And the day of the wedding open house that we had here at the house, I was sharing pictures in the morning and whatnot, and my bestie, who we met in Grippy Sock Vacation in 2018, when we both, lack of a better description, tanked with our mental health and needed more support. And we met in there, and this was my first encounter. At the time, my bestie was identifying as a trans man, and this was my first experience personally being able to get to know somebody that was trans. And my bestie got to experience what a mama bear I can be. And they would come in and they would call out my bestie's dead name. So those of you who are new to the stream, new to this world, when I say dead name, that is the person's name that they were given on their birth certificate. And it is dead to them now, and they have their new chosen name. And so the first time or two, I kind of let it slide. But then they kept coming back in and doing it. And I was just like, no, there's nobody in here by that name. And they would try to get up once in a while. And a couple of times I literally arm checked them. And I was like, no, hell no. They know your name. They know who you want to be called as. They are fully versed on this information. They have all of the information that they need, and they are choosing to add more anguish to your mental health in a time when you are here to get more support. And I'm not going to tolerate it, because it's wrong. It is wrong. And so by the end of my stay there, not only, I mean, first of all, they started getting a little better on board, but every once in a while, if I was like in a group somewhere else or meeting with my support team, other people in the group started like, they started stepping in and standing for what's right. And that's what this kind of all boils down to, is standing for what's right, doing what's right, being the support that we need for each other. So Bestie and I leave our Grippy Sock Vacation, add each other on Facebook, never interact again, never message each other, no contact, no likes, comments on posts, anything like that. Well, my ex and I had been streaming regularly, and we were sharing our story, our insights, our trying to educate and help people. And Bestie never interacted. So I don't know that they ever even caught a live stream. They would watch them after the fact. Never commented, nothing. Day of the wedding open house, I posted pictures and talked about, way behind schedule, supposed to be starting in a few minutes, and hey, half the stuff isn't done. And Bestie commented about, looks great, can't wait to see everybody, or something like that. And I've got a zillion things going on. Not only am I one of the brides, but it is at my house, and I have limited help, and I've got to get everything done, and falls off my shelf. Doesn't cause a blip on my radar. That evening, I get a message from them saying, hey, I think I'm at the right house, but I'm afraid I don't want to just walk in. And I literally, the joy, and I leapt up. I'm like, oh my God, my bestie's here, and ran to the front door. I think my bestie's here. And they were. And turns out they had Ubered from Wheaton. And how you getting home? Oh, I'll just Uber home. No. I will happily, if you're okay with staying until the official end of the evening, I'll run you home. And actually another one of my friends intervened and took them home. And the rest, we shall say, is history. Bestie has become a staple in my life and lived here for a little while, and now is living back home, but still comes regularly. Last 2 weekends, we actually had Bestie here for the weekend. In our office is officially a spare room. We had quite the adventure getting this barn door up, but we now can have complete and total privacy here, and then the door out to the outside, the deadbolt gets put in where Emma's sitting, opens up to a full-size bed. So we are, even though our spare room is no longer a spare room, we now have another spare room, because we're all about options at the Lavender Lodge, in case you hadn't heard that. So, talking about my intent, who I am as a person, I had a lot of negativity coming at me recently from different places about my streaming, about my cupcakes. Just, it was not great. And I lost sight. I let a lot of people down. I've had to go back. I have made apologies, and I will be making more apologies. But what I do want to share a little bit more about me. So I had this thing come up. Somebody shared, okay, I just did this ChatGPT prompt, and it's, quote, describe me like you're trying to warn somebody before they meet me, end quote. And this is what ChatGPT said about me. Those of you who do actually know me in person, this might freak you out a little bit. Just so you know what you're getting into. She's intense. Not necessarily loud or dramatic, just deep. She cares about things with her whole damn heart, and once she decides something matters, good luck convincing her to stop caring. She is fiercely protective of people. If she loves you, she will probably defend you before you even realize you need defending. But that comes with a catch. She expects authenticity in return. She can tolerate a disagreement. What she has very little patience for is cruelty, bullshit, manipulation, or pretending to not understand something because the truth is inconvenient. She has a tendency to take on too much responsibility, and then wonder why she's exhausted. She'll try to hold a community together, fix things, make everyone feel included, and somehow convince herself she should have done more. She is also stubborn as hell. Not like that I refuse to admit I'm wrong, because I do, kind of necessarily. I have thought about this from 17 different angles, and unfortunately I have feelings and evidence kind. She can be surprisingly vulnerable underneath all of that strength. She wants to be understood, not just tolerated. And when she feels like someone genuinely sees her, she becomes incredibly loyal. She's going to challenge you. She'll make you think. She'll probably say something unexpectedly profound at 1 a.m. That's never happened, Emma, has it? And then immediately follow up with something completely unhinged. Pee running down my legs? Never. And here's the biggest warning. Don't mistake her kindness for weakness. She can forgive a lot. She can give people more chances than she probably should. But eventually, there is a line. Once she realizes someone repeatedly chooses to hurt her or the people she cares about, that softness can disappear fast. So if you're going to meet her, bring honesty, a sense of humor, emotional courage, and preferably a little patience. And if you're lucky enough to become one of her people, don't fuck it up. Now, those of you that know me, like, oh, wow, was that, like, that nailed it. That absolutely nailed it. And it's very true. I regularly try to, I live by the CARING acronym, which is communication, authenticity, and accountability. Emma and I were just talking about, we were struggling to remember the R, and it is for responsibility, but we also decided that it should also include respect. Yes, thank you. I was like, oh, now I'm the one drawing a blank. So R is for responsibility and respect. I is integrity and is no nonsense, and G is grace and gratitude. And yes, I am actually reading it up on the wall above Emma's desk. We printed it out and laminated it. So I will be setting up a poll asking people for their thoughts about frequency, duration, consistency. I would love to hear your thoughts and comments. Excuse me. Part of why a lot of my discouragement with things were a notable lack of involvement in my community, in my streams, and I'm working on taking measures to do better, be better. And so here's my question. Here's a fun question for you. Is it a mantra? Is it a catchphrase? Or is it just a quotable quote? We have a lot of them around here. I will regularly, lots of us regularly, emulate our bestie. You'll hear us say regularly, time is fake. It is not uncommon to have someone say, does anybody need anything while I'm going in the kitchen? No, I don't have hookers or blow or $1 million. That is also another bestie one. I say no guilt, no shame. That is a big one for me. No guilt, no shame. I recently acquired from somebody that had come through my life, Do Better, Be Better. If you've watched any of my other streams, you've heard me talk about I can do better. I can do better. And it's not about shaming myself. I'm not saying that I didn't do the best that I could in the moment, or I'm not saying that the cupcake tasted like crap, because guess what? I don't think I've ever made a cupcake that tasted like crap. Actually, I feel like that's not true. I feel like there was one set of cupcakes that were so bad I actually threw them away.
I think there might have been one set, but they didn't taste like crap. They just didn't turn out. They just didn't turn out the way that you wanted.
Okay, you're right. It is not accurate to say they turned out like crap. They were not good. Let's put it that way. They were certainly not next level cupcakes. So do you have any? I want to know. I want to hear from my people out there. Is it a mantra when you say something like "Do better, be better" or "No guilt, no shame"? Or is it a quotable quote? Or is it a catchphrase? What do you think? I would love to hear your thoughts, comments, insights. So
Smoke 'em if you got 'em.
we are live streaming, my dear.
Very quickly. Quietly.
That's Steph's arm. She's passing through for her nightly
Court jester.
fresh air for the evening. So one of the things that I've learned doing this stream is you truly never know who you're going to touch, who you're going to impact, who's going to hear what, who's going to hear something that changes their life, improves their life, makes life better. John says quotable quote.
Quotable quote.
Quotable quote. Thank you, John. I have lived experience of, I know that I have impacted people's lives. And this is something that I struggle with, is skirting this fine line, skating this fine line, whatever you want to call it, of being proud of what I can do and being prideful. And this is actually a topic that I will be coming back to regularly throughout my streams, because I personally want to do better, be better. And I want to help others too. I want to make their lives better. I want to, if there's something that I can say or do that will improve somebody's life, and it doesn't really cost me to do that, why wouldn't I? And I want to help people learn how to do some of the things. Damon also says he calls them quotable quotes. So we so far the consensus is quotable quotes.
Yeah.
I kind of love that. So my bestie and I was driving them home this evening. After, oh my goodness, you guys, I slept all day. I didn't sleep at all last night or the night before. And I slept. I got cooling. I probably shouldn't have, because money is still very tight. But I have been sleeping terrible because I'm so hot at night. And I bought myself a cooling mattress pad and cooling sheets. And I think that's actually why I slept so long today, and I desperately needed it. So I woke up to basically, I hung out in the living room for, I don't know, about an hour, ate a little bit, woke up a little bit, and then I drove Bestie back home. And we talked about things we want to try to do this week. If you have not heard of Finch, it is a great, interactive, fun mental health and physical health app to help you make goals, meet goals, reward you for your goals. By all means, if you get on Finch or are on Finch, feel free to add me. I'm sure that there are others in the community that would love to be added also. But you can put your own goals on there. And so while I was driving Bestie home, I said, what do you think about this week? We make it a goal for both of us to engage with a stranger outside of the house. Just one time, one person. It doesn't have to be profound. It doesn't have to be life impacting. It doesn't even have to be long, but we never know. And we, ages and ages ago, we had 2 members of our community frog us in our house. And the first one I found, I was sitting on the toilet in the bathroom, downstairs bathroom, which of course, so the door is closed. Normally the door is open when nobody's in there, and you don't really pay attention to the shelves behind the door. So the door is closed, and I'm looking across the room, and there are 2 long-size Banker's boxes, and right in between them is this tiny little frog, like this little guy. And we had been frogged. These were hidden all over the house, and I recently just found one even, and it's been a while. And it kind of turned into this thing. Bestie found a bag of cute little ducks. Oop. Oh, he fell over. Cute little duck. Little ducky. At Goodwill. And bought those and started kind of like giving them out here and there. Which inspired me to do this. I have these jars just absolutely filled with these little drop one. And I give them out anywhere and everywhere that I can. And it's so funny because when I hand them out, people are like, oh, thanks, these are cute. And then when I tell them that, not all of them anymore, but back then when I started this, they all glowed in the dark. And so I would tell them, they glow in the dark too. And literally, you could see the glow up with them. And I've been asked why I do it. And I do it because I believe we don't get enough serotonin in our lives. We are woefully deficient on our serotonin, in my ever so humble opinion. And this is a little moment of serotonin that I can share with people. It brightens up their day. It brightens up my day. There's places that I go regularly because of work, and certain drive-thrus and whatnot. And it's so funny. The expectation. They all recognize me. I am recognizable. You know, purple short hair, purple glasses, big girl. I stand out. And there've been times that my jar was empty, and I'm like, I'm sorry, guys, I'm out. I gotta get a refill. I feel so bad. I went to a doctor's appointment one time, and I left the thing in the car because the last few times I had been there, I had given the receptionists and whatnot several of them. And when I walked in, she goes, "Oh, I saw that you were on the list. Do you have your? Can I have a little animal?" And I'm like, "I left him in the car. I can go get that." "Oh no, it's fine." I'm like, "Okay, I will bring them next time." And it makes my heart happy. And so I said to my bestie, I said, even if it's something like, maybe you give somebody a duck and it opens the conversation. So I want to challenge you this week. Go out of your comfort zone. Find a stranger to interact with. Because you never know the impact that you're going to have on a person. You never know. Seeing somebody giving somebody a smile, complimenting their outfit. You never know what impact that's going to have on a person. Especially because I don't know about you, but there's way too much negativity around me. And I want to be a beacon of positivity. I want to make a difference in people's lives. And I think that the people that are going to be watching my streams, I think they want the same thing. I think they want their life to be better. I think they want people's lives around them to be better. And that's what my intention is. That's what my goal is here. So let me know how that goes. I will get these polls set up. Let's see, what time is it? Oh, I want to try to keep these to about 20 minutes. I'm a little bit past that, but not too bad. So, thank you for joining me. Let me know how often you'd like me to see me streaming. I'm going to be a little more intentional about things. I'm going to start, like, I actually made notes this time. Well, the struggle is real. And it was actually kind of funny in the moment because my pen stopped working and I'm like, oh no. And Emma goes, I don't have a pen on my desk. And I'm like, oh no, if only we had some pens. We have a lot of pens here. If anybody needs any pens, I have something like 500 pens with my old business name on them. If you need some pens, I can happily get you some options. Hi, Chris. I miss you, Chris. Those of you who don't know Chris, or those of you who do, I am on a mission. We are going to get Chris back here from Seattle for a visit. It is going to happen, folks. I miss this man, and he needs to come and see me in person and give me a big hug because he's amazing, and I want to see him. So that's one of my goals for this year. So as always, peace, love, and cupcakes. I will see you the next time I see you.